All right, so I'm 24 years old. I work in a factory making $31 an hour. I live in California, and this is how I save/invest with such a high cost of living and a low income. And by low income, it really depends on where you live, where you work, and different things of that nature. But look, pretty much one of my checks goes straight into, not even one of them, one in like a half goes into expenses almost. You get what I'm saying? And there's different ways that I bring that down, and there's different ways that I go about each month so that I can have that extra income to invest and save, how I said. Look, first and foremost, and I'm grateful for this right now, my parents, I live with them still, right? But I cover the rent, me and my girlfriend do, and we split the rent. But my parents do pretty much buy all the groceries, which is pretty awesome because we don't have to go out and spend extra money on top of the rent to live. You get what I'm saying? So that right away cuts my expenses in half pretty much. And that's one big thing. Cutting your expenses as much as possible, whether it's getting roommates, staying at home with the parents, your significant other, or any situation like that. That is a big thing, and that has helped me the most. Second is also budgeting and not overspending and living outside of your means. You get what I'm saying? Like, it means if you can't afford to freaking go out every single weekend, don't be going out every single weekend. If you can't afford to be buying yourself brand new clothes every single month, don't do that. You get what I'm saying? And it's pretty much a sacrifice that you will take, especially if you live and participate in a social life. Because I don't as much. I go to work, I chill, and that's what I like to do. But if you're part of a community that likes to go out and you're around so many people that take trips, wear different clothes, do this, you might get pressured into feeling like you need to keep up with them, and then you would just be spending extra money that you might not even have just so you can keep up in appearance. You get what I'm saying? And that can be in so many different ways. It doesn't even have to be with materialistic things like a car, clothes. It can be with things like trips or going out to eat too much, because like these people like go out every single, like multiple times a week just to go out and eat somewhere. But you know you can't put that into your own budget, but you do it to keep up the friendship or keep up this, and they're going to tell you this or this if you don't go, or like different things, and there's different situations. But that's another thing, living within your means pretty much, and not overspending, especially on things that you can't afford to overspend on. You get what I'm saying? So it's pretty much just budgeting and making sure you have enough to cover your actual living expenses that you need, like housing, food, utilities, different things like that, like a phone bill, and everything else that's like quote unquote for fun or extras, like subscriptions, clothes, going out to eat, trips, freaking different things of that nature. Like, you get what I'm saying? You have to budget that in and set yourself a limit and try not to go above it. Of course, there will be some months where you do go above it, some months where you stay below it. It really depends on the person. And one thing is for sure though, don't buy things that you cannot afford. If you can only afford it because they have a forward payment installment plan, that don't mean you can afford it, man. But don't get me wrong, if I'm gonna buy a big purchase, like let's say $600, right, and I can afford it, like I have that money in my bank account and I'm gonna buy this, sometimes I will still just do that payment plan just so I don't feel it as much, but I will not stack another thing on top of that payment plan. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be paying for this and four, and then paying for this and four, paying for this and four, because then that would just create a cycle. And then before you know it, each one of those payments is going to be like $500, and then you're setting yourself up for a bad time. Another thing is staying out of debt. If you're going to school, it's going to be something hard to avoid, but you got to make a plan for after on how you're going to bring that down. But look, I'm out of debt. I didn't go to school. I don't have a car loan. I drive my car. It has 280, like 9,000 miles at this point. And I'm going to drive it until the wheels fall off pretty much. And then I'm not even going to go buy or take out a car loan, I should say, when that car does give out. I'm going to go around looking. I do have a little bit of experience with cars, so I can check it up myself, and I can take my dad with me too. So I feel more confident buying a used car. That's an excuse a lot of people do, but you can hire somebody, a family member, whatever it takes to inspect the car. And I'm going to get myself something reliable that's not too expensive and it's practical. You get what I'm saying? But that's another thing. Staying out of debt and not getting into it unnecessarily. Because a car loan is something you can definitely avoid. And it's something that will definitely hold you back. Well, not only with the interest rates, especially with credit cards too, actually. Let me put that in there too. Car loans and credit card loans are not loans, actually. Credit card debt, I should say, right? The car loan, but the credit card debt. Avoid those things at all costs. And don't get me wrong, though. I buy every single purchase with a credit card. I do that. But I pay it off every single month, and I don't overbuy things. Like, just because I'm getting points back, this is something that a lot of people fall into. You start buying more things because, like, oh, I'm getting cash back, so it's all right. It's like a psychological thing. Because you're getting cash back, so you feel the need. Not even feel the need, but, like, you feel less guilty buying things because you know you're earning a little bit of money back. But you got to avoid that. So don't overspend on that either. And if you have that problem, you might as well just stay away from credit cards. But if you can responsibly put everything you buy into a credit card and then pay it off every single month but not over buying things, then you're literally just getting cash back. And I don't see a problem with that, honestly. And build up your credit and all these different things. Car loan is just because interest rates are crazy. And a lot of people get into that just because they want to keep up an appearance or feel like they're just doing it really to, don't get me wrong, like I want a Porsche one day, huh? Don't get me wrong. But while you're in the process, I should say, of building your wealth and getting yourself to financial freedom, you can't be putting yourself behind because you're trying to be perceived as someone that already got it when you're in the foundation part and you're building up right now. You know what I'm saying? So don't get into that unnecessarily, man. And besides that, it's really just a lot more sacrifices, man. It's not going out to eat a lot. Cooking at home. Staying disciplined with that. Budgeting. Saving like a month or two to then buy that thing that you want to buy. And then consistently investing. Whether it's in your 401k, your Roth, or individual brokerages. Different things of that nature. In your savings account for emergency fund. And all those different things, man. Just staying disciplined and consistent with your investing. Because one thing is cutting expenses and not putting yourself in debt and staying away from trying to keep up an image that you do not need to even be impressing people with. That's another thing. Then the other part is actually being consistent, doing your due diligence, research into what you should be investing in, what accounts you can be taking advantage of, like employer match with 401ks or like Roth IRAs, because when then you cash out, you don't got to pay taxes and different things of that nature. That's where you got to stay disciplined and committed, man, and consistent. And do your research. This is not financial advice by any means, but investing that will definitely not only protect you from inflation, but grow your wealth over time. And that's what's really going to take you out of the situation that you want to get out of. Because me personally, man, like I'm working $31 an hour. To some people, that's actually pretty good. And I'm honestly blessed and happy and grateful for the opportunity I have. I'll be honest, I am grateful for that. But it is not enough, especially where I live, right? And that's on me for living in such a high cost of living. But like, this is where I spawned. You get what I'm saying? Like, maybe one day we'll go somewhere else. But right now, this is where I'm at. And I understand that, but that's where I got to do my due diligence and take the responsibility to budget, sacrifice, and invest. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm currently doing. And pretty much after that, and the steps I'm in currently is increasing your monthly income. So then you could save, invest, and potentially take a risk by starting a business or getting into some type of investment with that capital that you have gained. But main thing is increasing your income. side jobs, second job, flipping things, selling things, starting a business, all these different things. And right now, that's the part I'm in right now. And we'll see how that goes. And I'll keep you guys updated on that too. But besides the saving and besides the consistent investing and contributing to your future, now you got to increase that monthly income, man. And this is really the plan if you really want like that financial freedom and that freaking thing where people feel like it's unobtainable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that big, not even a big house, but like a nice house. Like I personally want a ranch. Like that ranch, that Porsche, these little things that you will definitely need a little bit of extra income. But if your goal is just to retire comfortably, then you can do that just by budgeting, investing into your accounts, and living a peaceful and calm life. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you do want a little bit more and you want to push yourself and you have that ambition, then you will have to increase that monthly income so all those accounts can grow even faster and that you can take that risk with a business, an investment, or things of that nature. That's how I personally invest and save, which is not really how I do. All I do is just budget, save, and invest. It's as simple as that. There is a little bit more into it because we all have different situations and we all come from different places and all these different things. But that's where you got to take a step back and analyze your situation and really see and apply it to how it will work for you. You get what I mean? But I'm doing that currently. Next thing is to increase that monthly income. I'll see you guys on the next one.